Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how to use JotForm to create a waiting list for your childcare center. I'm not affiliated with JotForm. I just found it very useful and it looks much more elegant than a Google form, which is bubbly looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a form just like this one over here. Okay, so this is the form and it's very simple. You can pretty much add whatever fields that you want to add to. And you log into the jotform.com, just create a new account if you don't already have an account. And let's create a brand new form. So create a new form and we can create it from scratch or we can use a template. So let's just do it from scratch. It will be a classic form because all the questions will be on one page. So let's put down our first question. Our form name, we'll just call it registration waiting list, or whatever you feel like calling it. And at the first question, we want to add the name one by one because later on we can shorten the last name so that we can create a list to show the public. We're going to do the first name as a short text, your first name. And if we click on the properties, we can make it require. And also we can make it shorter so that we can have more compact fields. And let's add another one, which is called your last name. Again, we'll make it require and then go to advanced tab and make it shorter. Okay, so we can put it right beside here. The next field will be your email address. So email, we'll just use this one. Okay, and it will be require. Again, we'll make it shorter. The next one will be your phone number. And again, require and make it shorter. The next one will be your child's name. We could use the full name field and say your child's name, and it will be required. Then the next question is your child age, and we'll just make it a short field. And it will be required as well. Next one is, would you like to start right away? If not, please select a time. And this one is a yes or no question. So we're going to have a single choice. Would you like to start right away? If not, please select a time in the time picker on the right. So we're going to say yes, no, and then we delete all of the other choices. So this one will be required and we'll make it shorter as well. Then the next one will be the time picker. So we'll do a date picker. Your child start date. And it won't be required because if the person answer we want to start right away, then they don't need to pick a start date. But we'll make it smaller. Okay, so that's it for our form. We are completed. So what you can do is you can actually preview your form. Okay, and this is what the form will look like. You can enter some data just to check. Yes, we want to start right away and submit. Okay, so the form works. Now let's go back to the actual form. Okay, so we go outside and we can actually view the submission. So this is, the form that we just created and we have one submission. If we click on submission, it will automatically create a table for us. Okay, so what we want to do, we can have this table to look at the submission, or we can also expose this table publicly. However, you may not want to have this table completely exposed just like this because it has too much information. Then optionally, what you could do is you could, hide, the fields that you don't want to expose. For example, all of the phone number, the child's name, age, basically all the personal data. And instead, we can create some additional column that we can expose safely, such as we'll create formula, add an advanced formula, what we're going to do is we're going to include the first letter of the last name initial. Okay. And we're going to use the formula, which is the left side of the last name and just one letter. So what this is going to do is going to include the first letter of my last name or of the entry last name. And let's add the last 4-digit phone number so that we can recognize, so that the person can recognize themselves. And then we'll use the formula again. So the last digit, phone last 4 digits. Okay, that's the column name. And what we'll do is we're going to do the right. So basically the right-hand side. So we'll cut off the last 4 digits of this phone number. So phone number and then 4. Okay, so perfect. So now we can share this table publicly if we want to. And we'll make it a public table, read only. And this is the link. Okay, so if we go to another browser, so for example, if we go to a brand new browser, okay, so this is a brand new browser and put in the link here. Then you can see that, oh, for publicly, people can start looking at the position on the wait list. There's one more thing that we need to change, because if they view it, people can see the dollar's name in here as the as the entry name. So we want to change that as well. So we go back in here and click on view. Okay, so we don't want this here. And we'll click on entry setting. The header, we will not show anything. Okay, and we will hide any empty fields. Now let's share again. So the sharing should be done already because it's a public table. If we go back to the browser and do a refresh, and then we look at the entry again, then you see we will only allow people to see the entry that we want them to see. And as the entry build up, okay, so if we submit the form, right, so this is the form. And if we share this form link with other people, so for example, we go to the publish, and this is the link that you will share with other people so that they can fill in the registration list. So we can copy the link, okay, and open it in new tab. So we'll submit a second entry. Okay, so I'm just entering some fake entry. Right? And as people started to submit for the submission, then they will see that the list will grow and grow and grow. The most bottom is the one that will be the older submission. The top will become the newer submission. Okay, so it will be in sequence and people can observe where they are located in the waiting list.